My name is Bill Procopio. I'm a retired engineer from Boeing Satellite Systems of El Segundo. I live in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Today I'm going to be talking about practical parallel effects and demonstrate the configuration of parallel effects in a DAW. Here we see the overall diagram of the signal flow of a software instrument performance within the DAW, showing the separate instrument channel strips with their individually selected inserts or effects, an individual channel that manages a parallel effect, an interconnecting function bus, and finally the main output. I have chosen an orchestral piece of mine to demonstrate the parallel effects insertion process. In the actual performance, there are 10 individual instruments. The channel strip consists of the instrument selection, inserts for effects, sends for parallel functions, and a fader. Rather than repetitively inserting an effect that is commonly used, each channel can use a common bus, in this case reverb bus, and an associated auxiliary channel strip to manage that bus, in the case reverb aux. Reverb introduces a space, large or small, or ambiance to the performance, making for a richer or realistic sound. The process of a channel strip using the auxiliary channel is a send. It sends the signal to the auxiliary parallel process and return is implied. The auxiliary channel strip must create the connection to the channel strips using the I/O section. In this case, reverb bus would be selected. Normally, the send is configured for post-fader to allow the channel strip to manage a proportionate level of the original and modified signal. All outputs of the channel strips are then summed or mixed into the main output. Now I'd like to demonstrate on Logic Pro 9 how we create a parallel effects using the auxiliary channel. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the bus that allows me to do that. So I go to Options, I/O Labels, and then I'm going to select on bus 3. It's rather arbitrary. And with a short title, Reverb. Okay, so now I also need to create the auxiliary channel. Create new auxiliary channel strip. I want to make sure that it's stereo. And then I want to rename it on here. Reverb aux. And then I want to go to the I/O section and I want to select the bus that I just created, which is reverb. Now, in addition, I need to actually insert a reverb sound under inserts. So I'm going to go to Space Designer, and I'm going to select large spaces, indoor spaces, tall cathedral. The other thing I need to do is I need to make sure that the dry-wet mixture is 0 dry, 100% wet. And then for each one of the individual channel strips, I'm going to go to the Send section, and I'm going to go to put in Reverb Bus and see that reverb shows up each time. I also want to set the level on each one, and I've previously determined that I need to make this -20. Now you can see that I have included as a send the connection to the reverb function, which is provided by this auxiliary channel strip. I set every one to -20. Now I'm going to demonstrate how it sounds where the reverb aux is set to a 0 gain. Now we'll see what's going to happen when it plays. And that might actually be a nice level. Let's take it out. Now let's listen to it full bore. That might be too much. very much for listening to my lesson here on inserting an effect in parallel. Have a good day.